the next step we're going to do is we're going to make pockets out of the pages in the book. What you need for that is you're going to probably need a ruler. You're going to need some type of glue. I don't know how good the Jot is from Dollar Tree, but you could try it and see. It's a white glue. Or you also have the Elmer's glue. This is the glue all, but there's also the school glue. You also have Dollar Tree. They have little bottles of Mod Podge. You could try that for your glue. Glue stick. There's all different brands of glue stick. And then also my favorite, which is what I'm probably going to use today. You can get this at Dollar Tree. It's Aleene's Tacky Glue. You can see the difference. This is Dollar Tree and this is probably Hobby Lobby. Someone bought this for me. What we're going to do is figure out where you want to put your pocket. The cardstocky type page, I'm not doing that one. Then you've got the first page here. I'm going to leave that one alone. And because I have all of this right here, I can hide it with a pocket. So the first thing I want to do though is looks like I have cut a little bit of this page right here. So I'm just going to take some tape, since you're not going to see it because it's going to be covered up as a pocket. I'm going to just take some tape and tape it down. There might be another way you could do this, but I'm just trying to go fast for you all. The next thing I want to do is we'll just use this, paste down these pages that I cut. This is an optional step. You don't have to do this either. You can just leave it alone. Okay, as you can see, now they're all glued together. It's not going to pop up at all later. Make sure you don't have any glue on these edges right here, because sometimes the glue will seep down into this. So you want to make sure that's all clean. Oh, another thing you're probably going to want is some baby wipes or some kind of wipes to wash your hands, because now I've got glue on my hands and I'm going to have to wipe it off before I go any further. I've got a tip for these baby wipes. If they are dried up, just spray some water in there because they're still good. Don't waste it. Don't throw it away. Just going to spray it in there so they can get reactivated. And then this one, the one I'm going to use for myself. But I'm going to prepare this page over here. We are going to be putting these two pages together, gluing this end and the top and the bottom. But what I want to do is I want to cut off a small section because I'm going to do it, make it look more like an envelope. So I'm going to take off probably, I think 2 inches looks good. So let me make a mark. The name of the game is measure twice, cut one. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to connect all the dots. Get your cutter or some scissors, either way, do what you want. I'm going to put my line that I have here and I'm going to match it to this little gutter. That's where this little blade here is going to go. And then just take it off. And then on this side, the side that's going to flap over, I'm going to put some scrap paper. I'm going to decide if I'm going to go this way or this way. I'm going to go this way. I'm just going to do like maybe, you know what, I'm just going to do the whole thing. And that way this will give it more structure. So this page is 9 3/4 by 6 3/4. Again. Okay, so this should, if it doesn't go all the way into that gutter of your book, that's fine, because you don't really want a whole lot of paper to get into this down in here, because it'll just be too much. It won't be able to handle it. So now what I'm going to do is just glue it down. I'm probably going to use this glue stick. It'll probably be the best bet right now, since this is all here anyways. So just take and generously put some glue stick on this page. You want to go on the edges real good and then do the middle. I like using the glue stick because it's dry. It's not a real wet. It doesn't wrinkle your pages. Not that it's going to really matter for our case here, because we're going to cover each page with some scrapbook paper. This paper is actually more cardstock thickness. I would prefer to use paper thickness for what I'm doing right now, but It's the design that I want, so we're going with it. This is why it's going to thicken up the book, because you're going to be using different types of paper, different types of thicknesses. Let's put this back. Oh, now all you're seeing is this part right here. And this is the part we're going to fold over. And I'm going to use a ruler to try and get that fold to be really good and even. And then just take your paper up against the ruler and just rub it to where it has that nice fold. And then you can fold it down the rest of the way right there like that. Now we're going to glue, and really, to be honest with you, I don't trust this. It looks like this is going to be popping up some because it is the thicker cardstock paper. So you might want to reinforce it with some better glue. Just a dot of glue here. So what I just did is use the piece of paper to catch the excess glue so that it doesn't go on these other pages. You don't have to put anything here because we're not going to see that. As we are going to glue the edges, I'm using my tacky glue again. And I'm just going to glue right here. Okay, and now we're going to lower it down onto the page next to it. So I went ahead and picked pink, my favorite color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste this down on this side of the envelope. And then I'm going to use this one, paste it down on this side of the envelope. See, there's a little bit of the paper you can see right there, and that's okay. You don't want this to be filled up with stuff, so I mean, there's things that we can do. You could paint that in there if you don't want to see that. You could even use some washi tape to kind of give it a little bit more color. So there's that. Later on, if I feel like I do right here, this edge right here needs to be glued down. So just put a little tiny dab right there. You don't need a lot. And just push it down. So now we've got this so far. Like that. And now we're going to do this side. Now I'm going to, what I'm wanting to do is put it in this direction so we have the paint splatter on that side. And we're going to glue down. Just go all over. Because you want it to stay stuck. Make sure you get the edges pretty good. If not, you come back with your tacky glue or whatever type of glue you have and then force it. So let's start with the edge again. Make sure there's no white showing. Okay, and then just press it down. So now I'm just going to redo the fold. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it like around here instead. So make sure you have the same spacing on one end as you do the other. And then just start gently folding it up. Make sure you put a lot of pressure on your ruler so that you don't move it. Okay. And just go ahead and fold it the rest of the way. And look at that. Look how pretty that is. Okay. And then we'll come back later and we'll decorate it some more. But that is your first pocket. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to start using my paper now. And we're going to start decorating these pages. So find the color scheme that you're wanting and go with it. If you have a theme, keep in mind your theme. Right now, I'm thinking I'm going to make a different type of faith book than I normally make. This one is just going to be for myself. I think I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Okay, so I found my paper I'm going to use for this page next door. And I want it to match the page, or this pocket here, so that it flows. So this has got some pink in it and some green and a little bit of blue, which kind of matches that there. And so we're just going to do the same exact thing on this page as we did on here, without chopping it down to make it into an envelope, of course. Okay, so I've got it measured out. It looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and paste. Make sure you put something beneath it so it doesn't get on the other pages. Here's that, and that really matches, that flows. I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do some more, and then I'll come back and show you what I've done. Okay, here's another tip for you if you're using wet glue. I had to use some wet glue, or any of the glue. I mean, you can, even with the stick glue, as you guys could see, it was kind of wet on there. So what you can do is use some wax paper and just put it in between the pages so that you can move on to the next page. And then that way, if anything gets sticky, it's going to get on this wax paper, and the wax paper is easier to pull up than it is the pages, because you don't want the pages to stick together. I'm going to use a paper clip to hold them together, and then that way I'll know which pages are going to be my envelopes. And then I think the easiest way to do it is just to do all of the regular pages, do those first, and then go back and do the envelopes. I think that's how I'm going to work it. So the best thing to do is get yourself one big thing of paper and just use that paper. That way they all match. You don't have to worry about mixing and matching. If you like that, you can do that too. If you only have some scrap paper, you can do that. But if you have the money and you're able to, remember Michael's and Hobby Lobby, they usually have coupons for 40 and 50% off. But get yourself one pack. Oh, and a lot of times they have these on sale anyways for half off, so keep your eye open for the sales. But just get one pack, and then you can see that they all can flow through your book, and it won't look odd, or it shouldn't look odd. But guys, be creative. Do it the way you want to do it. You don't have to do it the way I do it. I'm just here to help you, inspire you to make something, and hopefully it will turn out great for you, like I'm hoping it will turn out great for me. Okay, so the fastest way I see doing this is by steps. So figure out what papers you want to go with. I went and kind of did a gradual color scheme because of the paper that type of paper I have. So I figured that out, how I wanted the color scheme to go throughout the book. And now I am cutting my papers down. So I've got my 2 pages here. I'm cutting them down, and then I'm sticking them into my book for where they will go. I have not stuck them down yet, but I will. But to get this step done, I'm putting them on the 2 pages that they're going to go on, and then go ahead and cut these down, put those in the 2 pages that they're going to go on, and so on and so forth. Now I've already marked where I want my pockets, and I've decided I'm going to do different types of pockets, so when I get to the next pocket I'll show you how I'm going to do that one. So 10 pockets, and then we'll go from there. Alright, I have the book completed except for pockets. So I got all of my pages filled with color with different types of scrap paper. I had issues with glue. I was running out of the, here's a pocket one. I was running out of my stick glue, and so instead of using that, I thought, well, I'm just going to try my wet glue, and I used the glue all. which is a very good glue. But when you're putting wet glue on paper, you run into wrinkling, which is not a big horrible deal to me. And look at this one. It really is really bad wrinkled. So my advice, if you don't like the wrinkle, use your glue stick. Whatever type of glue stick you use. There's many out there. And then if you have trouble with your glue stick keeping the edges together, just go back and you can use the glue all or the tacky glue or whatever you have. So I did get all of these done. I put some pockets in here on these two. There's a pocket here. Here's a spot where the glue was still wet, and I shut the book, and now it's, as you can see, it's a little bit ruined there, but we're gonna fix it, not a big deal. So here's all my pages. So as you can see, there's still a few pages here without any paper on it, and that's because those are the pages I'm going to make some more pockets out of. So I wanted to do these with you. I've got them planned out already so you all can see how I'm going to make these pockets. So on this one, I can't remember if I told you already, but I just put paper on the page, and we'll do more on this side, but on this side I folded it over, but I cut a rectangle out right here, and then I glued the edges so that I can have a pocket here, and I had a pocket here, and I washi taped the top and bottom. And then on this one, I just folded this page over, put some scrapbook paper on it, and then glued the edges so that you have a spot to tuck something in there. So what we're going to do with this one is, the first step is we're going to cover the page with some scrap paper. And I am using Polka Dot Party. I got this at Tuesday Mornings, I believe, but it's just a paper pad. It's medium weight. It's a little thicker than I want because it's almost cardstock pretty much, but we're going with it. So we're going to glue this one down. Make sure you have your paper in the direction you want it. So the design I'm going to do with this pocket is I am just going to fold it to where it is a perfect triangle. So I want as much of a pocket as I can get, but I want it to be as straight as possible. And then use your bone tool if you have one, which I do, but I don't know where it is at the moment. And just really press that down good. I'm going to do the same thing to this side on the second page. Make sure you have them equal. We're going to turn it upside down to see where we are. I want them to be exactly the same. Okay, so this is going to be the inside. What I'm going to do is put a piece of paper here, and you can leave it like this and just have a flip up, but I am going to go further and I'm going to fold it in one more time. And you can pretty much go by the lines on your page as to if it's up and down, if it's straight, perfectly straight. If you have wording on that side. Now you could even leave it like that and just have that as your background if you like that. I think I'm going to cover mine up. But I'm going to do that on both sides. Try to get it as perfect as possible. So that's still going to pop up and down like that. This is going to pop up and down like that, but I'm going to put a little something there, and I'm just going to tuck something that can go all the way through right there on both sides. So, and then you're going to have the pocket on the inside. So let me get some paper and we're going to glue the paper on there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make the paper a little bit longer than this triangle so that I can fold it on this fold here on both pages. So let me get that paper ready. So how I'm measuring this is I'm just taking another piece of paper and I'm going with the length of the longest side here. And I'm going to go from this point here all the way to this point here. And that's going to be how long this is going to be. And I already marked it right there. After I cut the paper the length that I want it, I'm going to take a ruler. I'm going to measure a 1/2 inch in on each end, and then I'm going to take my ruler, put it on those 2 points, and I'm just going to fold it up on the ruler so that it'll be folded nice and neatly. And then just finish folding it there. So that's going to be the flap. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line up this fold with this fold with right here. Make sure that they're even and that the points, the end of this is getting to the point of that, and the end of this one is at the point of this one. And now I'm just going to fold it, make sure they're equal, fold it over like that. I'm going to take a pencil and trace around it. And then I'm going to cut it. Okay, I've got this one glued down. I'm not going to glue anything on that side because nobody's going to see it. I did 1 inch right here, left 1 inch there, and I've left 1 inch on this side. And then I went 3 inches in on the middle and then kind of just guesstimated the circle. What I'm going to do next though is I'm going to be using this paper. So I'm going to, all I'm going to do is trace the circle onto this. So what I'm going to do is flip it over. I've done it already, but I'm just going to flip it over. I'm going to trace what I have here, and then I'm going to go out 1/4 inch or 1 centimeter. And I drew another parallel line next to it. And then I'm going to be cutting little snippets right there so that I can fold it over the paper. So I've cut it out, and now I'm just going to start making little snips. And now I'm just going to glue this on to this. And then after I fold them down, I'm going to glue it down. Got all the glue on there, and now I'm just going to go ahead and press it down. Okay, so that's done. So we're going to go ahead and glue the sides. And then press it. Actually, what I'm going to do is hold it up. Because of the way the book is right now, it's kind of getting a little deformed from all this paper in here. I'm just going to go like this. Okay, and then on the opposite side of this, we're going to put just a regular pocket like. So we're just going to glue this one down, and we're going to glue this one on top of that, just on the edges here. This one is going to be glued on the whole sheet. So what I'm doing is I am folding this part together, and then I'm going to glue it on like that. Okay, so we've got the pocket on this side, and we've got a pocket on this side. And I'm just going to take some paper clips again. I'm going to clip them together just to make sure the glue adheres to the paper really well and that it won't come loose later. Okay, here's another pocket I'm making. I'm doing stars on this side, arrows on this side, and then this is the background on this side. So I just glued these down already I'm folding this one down because I'm going to have another flip right there. And then I'm just going to glue the edges right here. Okay, and then before I do anything more there, I need to put a piece of paper or a scrap paper there. Okay, so here's another pocket that I just finished. So I've done this one. You can put your hand in there, put stuff in there. You have a flap there that you can hide things in. And then turn the page. You have this page where you can take this and fold it over this way, fold it again, and unfold it that way. So you have all this hidden space that you can hide things in. So that's what we did there. So all I did on this was I glued this sheet down first. I glued only this side of the sheet down completely. And then I used this flap and I glued another sheet of decorative paper there. And then I folded my little fold there. And then you can keep it like that when you have the book closed, or you can keep it like that. I think I'm going to keep it this way. I could have made this an opening right here, but I shut it up. So, I mean, you guys could do that too. So I need to let this dry for this pocket. So these are all the pockets. So let me review what we've done already. So in the very beginning of this book, we've got this pocket. It's like an envelope. I didn't put anything on this side, but we can do that later when we're decorating the junk journal or altered journal. Here's another pocket that we used the V design and put something in there. So I'm just trying to get the pockets made, and then later we're going to decorate them and all the pages as well. Then the next pocket was this one, and you have two pockets here. One there, one here, and then you have this one here. And then we have this pocket and flip. So you have a pocket here, stick something all the way through. You have the pocket in the middle right here. And you have the same type of pocket on this side where you can put something through the middle. And then, let's see, then we've got this pocket where we are going to decorate more later. Maybe we can put stuff in there. We put stuff on this side because that's just a regular pocket, nothing fancy on that one. And then on this pocket today we've done this. And we can put stuff in there. And then this one. You can unfold it all the way. Hide all kinds of things in there. And I believe that is all of our pockets. So right now we're starting to get chunky. I'm trying to hold it shut. So that's what it is with me holding it shut. And this is me not holding it shut. So it's starting to get chunky. Okay, so if you guys can get through that, go ahead and put all of decorate your pages up. You can use scrap paper, you can use paint, you can do the background type journals like I did, but on this one I'm doing all scrapbook paper. I'm putting some pockets in there, and so that is your homework for this week. If you are following along with me, go ahead and put your scrapbook paper on, make your pockets, and then next week we will do the next step. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been subscribing to me and watching. I really appreciate all of your guys' support, and I hope you come back and see me next time. I will see you next week with another part of this series of how to make a altered book or a junk journal, however you want to say it. You guys have a great day, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.